4 ways to get more auditions. We're going to start right off the bat with the casting websites. Whether you're represented or not, if you have an agent, your agent is most likely accessing a lot of these sites, and that's where they're sending you your auditions through them. But even if even if you do have an agent, you can still be accessing these sites to find things that maybe your agent is missing, or just to be in the loop. Maybe you want to be ahead of the curve, and then you see something and then give your agent the heads up, like, oh, I noticed they're casting for this show. Can we submit something, or can we find something for me? And especially if you're unrepresented, you can go into all of these casting sites. Some of them have free profiles. Some of them have an upgrade to paid profiles. It's my personal opinion that in most of them, that paying for the upgrade is well worth it to give you access to more of the features and to more of the opportunities. And booking one role out of in the entire year is going to more than cover, probably 5-fold cover your investment. Most of them are about $100 to invest in them. So we're going to throw up a list here of the regular sites. It's going to vary. All this is going to vary based on your country as well. So if you're tuning in from Europe or South America or something like that, some of these, I don't know how active they are. So I'll let you know as we go through them. So first one, probably one of the biggest one, is actorsaccess.com. Brandon will bring them up here. Most of these sites, you set up a profile, you got your headshots, you got your demo reel, you got your resume. So there's also a side note to all of this is start getting your materials ready. Make sure you've got professional headshots. Make sure you've got a professional resume, demo reel. If you don't have things like that and you're brand new, you got to start somewhere. So you'd start with classes, and you'd eventually get headshots to add to it. So you want to make sure that your profiles are up to date and optimized. Maybe I would say every 6 months at minimum, maybe quarterly, worst case once a year, but I would say every 6 months to keep it up to date. Keep your sizing up to date, your headshots, your resume. As you book new roles and you book new credits, you want to update these sites and just make sure that everything is accurate as well. And so Actors Access, for example, you can go in as a non-represented actor and you can see tons of listings in your region. And the other hack that I would give to everyone is don't be stuck in your own region. If you say you live in the States and you're on the East Coast, start looking at LA stuff, start looking at Atlanta stuff, look at Chicago stuff. If you live in New York, in an age of self-tapes, you're not stuck in your region anymore. You can self-tape, at least in the first audition. Obviously, you might need to get to that region. Certain castings might say we're only accepting locals for this casting, but a lot of them are going to be wide casting. So I regularly go on Actors Access, and I go in, I'll look at the New York casting, I'll look at the Chicago casting, and I'm submitting for those on my own, and then letting my agent know what I'm submitting to, or I'm telling her, I saw this on the New York site, can you submit me for this, that kind of thing. Really, all of this, you just want to think, like, if you really want this and you want to be an actor and you want to be booking roles, what does all out look for you? And all out as far as your training, making sure that you're armed and dangerous as an actor, but also making sure that you're pursuing and finding these opportunities, versus being someone you're just sitting on the couch waiting for an email and hoping and praying and wishing that someone's going to give you an opportunity, or that you're going to be discovered in a coffee shop. All of this is at your fingertips. So actorsaccess.com is the first one. And then Casting Workbook is another big one. Castingworkbook.com. And again, whether you're represented or not, it's a great thing to go on here. If you are represented, you want to be making sure that you're excuse me, making sure that you're updating your profiles so that your agent has up-to-date stuff for you. But you can also be looking at all the listings as well. I'll be right back, Brandon. I need to grab a glass of water here. I'm choking.
Okay.
One second. Hold down the floor.
Okay. Yeah. I find the downside of Actors Access is that they make you pay for each casting that you have to go on, or like each casting that you apply for. So what I would recommend is probably, especially signing up for Casting Workbook. That is a one-time yearly fee that's about $111, maybe $120, and you get to apply for as many as you want. And if you don't have an agent, you get to see a lot more castings. When you do have an agent, they sort of limit it down for you so that you only see a couple. But the benefit of that is that you do see a lot of the sides that are coming in for the different castings. And so you're able to download a lot of the sides and then read them and then determine maybe if you're right for that role. Maybe you can email your agent and be like, hey, can I come in for this? Or find an email for the casting agent or casting director and be like, hey, would it be all right if I came in for this? Or even better, film it, send it in, and be like, hey, I did this already. Would you like to see it? Here it is. Because then it's already done, and they're like, oh, okay, well, they've already done it. They've already done part of the job for us already. Why not see it anyway? And then most of the time, they'll probably be like, okay, yeah, maybe we'll bring them in for something else. And again, it's not about this casting. It's not about making sure that you're booking this particular role that you're auditioning for right now. It's building that relationship with the casting directors so that when you do keep going and because as we talked about on this podcast before, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You're going for the long haul of this. You want them to bring you back for more auditions. And the fact that you took the initiative to read the sides, film the audition, and then send them a nice email saying, hey, I saw this. I really connected with this character. It's something I'm really passionate about. Here you go. I can't see any problem with that. And I think they would definitely be like, okay, they're a go-getter. I want to have them back for more auditions.
Yeah, that's great advice. And there's another underlying theme to this whole thing is deciding what you want and then fighting to go get it. There's a certain level of audacity that may be required. There is also a certain level of industry protocol and how things work as well. So it's kind of finding that happy medium of working the channels the way the industry works. It's like there's a reason that there's agents, so that agents can vet talent, and then casting directors go to agents rather than being overwhelmed by 8 billion people on the earth wanting to be actors and wanting to submit to their projects. But if you're not represented, and you're a savvy human being and you do it in a polite, social way that doesn't make you look like a psychopath, where you're like, hey, I'm the greatest actor ever, put me in your movie, you got to pick me, or in a needy, beggy way where you're reaching out to a casting director saying, oh my God, no one's given me an opportunity. If I was just given a chance, please give me a chance, take a chance on me. Like, any of that energy is going to be repelling. But if it's just, hey, I'm a Toronto-based actor, I'm a New York-based actor, currently unrepresented. I noticed you're casting this, and this project. Recently, I worked on this, and this, and I'm taking classes here, and here. I would love the opportunity to audition for you or showcase or send you my demo or attend your casting workshop or whatever it may be. So just reaching out and introducing yourself. If you have an agent to do that for you, great. But if you don't, you got to start somewhere. And if you don't have representation, then you can also be doing the same thing to seek out representation. So that was castingworkbook.com. What's the next one on our list here? Another one is castingnetworks.com.
Okay.
Casting networks, and all of these they'll differentiate between TV, film, theater, commercials. So you can pick your lane. And again, this one has a paid profile and an unpaid profile. Some of them, depending on the country that you're in, will be more applicable. I know this one's probably bigger in the States. Maybe it's 50-50 between Canada and the States. Another great one, especially if you're non-union, and this one's pretty global, I think, is Mandy.com, Mandy.com, Mandy.com. And this one's great. I cleaned up on this site when I was non-union because they had a lot of paid gigs on there. I would say they paid probably between $100 and $500 for the day or a half day. So they were lower compared to union gigs. But the yearly submission to get the paid profile on this was, I think, $100. So every year that I ever paid for this site, I always got my money back in like 10, 20 fold, most likely. Like I book a handful of gigs from this one every single year. Have you used Mandy? Did you use this on the come up?
Yeah, when I was first starting out, I checked this site every single day.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that I was up to date on what was casting and what was going out, and if I could apply to anything that was on there.
Right.
Anything and everything. And Facebook.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll talk about Facebook in a minute. So we got a few more. We'll go through these ones real quick, and you can just bring them up online. But backstage.com has a casting section in there. Stuff definitely North America, but maybe global on there as well. I think they're pretty global.
I find this one is a lot more US based, right?
Yeah, I think it's heavier in the US, that's for sure. Yeah. Castingfrontier.com is another one. Casting Frontier.
I gotta be honest, I've never heard of this one.
There you go. Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I think this one's primarily US.
Okay. Is this paid, or is this
yeah, I think pretty much every site that
most casting
has a paid. They have a free version, and then they have an upgrade version.
Okay.
Nowcasting.com is another one.
Okay. This one didn't load. I think this.
Oh, is that one down now?
Yeah, the site's I think might be down right now.
Playbill.com.
Playbill.com. Let's bring up Playbill. See what we got there.
I think that's going to be primarily theater. Yeah, that's generally like Broadway and theater and touring theater things.
Okay, so this is another US based one.
Yeah, I think that's primarily US. The one in the I don't know the actual website. It's like ceaa.com or something.
So I'm going to share it right now. It's eDrive. You can get signed up for their mailing list, and they will email you castings to what is going on and what is being auditioned in theater. Right. So I just applied. Lars and I just applied for the Stratford Festival, Prescott. There's a couple for Aurelia.
Right. So this is Equity Theater. So Union Theater in Canada. Now, what you want to do, I know that we do have people watching, and we have members all over the world. So whatever region you're in, just Google regional sites. So literally, if you type in acting plus the name of your city or the name of your country, or auditions plus your city or country, stuff's going to come up. And then it's just going to be up to you to spend an afternoon and go through, find all those sites, find your regional sites, find the sites that you need to be on in your area, and then decide, do you want to start with the paid profile or the free one? Not a bad idea if it's a site that you're unfamiliar with, to start with the unpaid version and see how it goes. And then, or if often they'll have a free trial as well. That's probably a good way to go, where you do like a 30-day free trial and you get access to everything. And then if you want to continue accessing everything, then you got to up level and pay the bill.
Charlene suggested eBoss Canada.
Yeah, that's Charlene's site. So she amalgamates a lot of the casting notices from Canada and lists them on her site as well too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think people directly post and post their casting calls there as well, but then she sources from other places. And Man has like a directory there too. Thank you, Charlene, for sharing that. All right. So on all those sites too, again, if you're going to be on there, make sure they're optimized, that you got your current pictures, your current resume, demo reels, everything, whatever is your best foot forward. You want to have that out there for people to see when they're cruising those sites.